Hey everyone. I'm glad you could join me tonight. I hope you're having a really good week. I am going to do a card for you live tonight, which is a new fancy fold. Well, it's new to me at least. I think it's a lovely card. I first saw it from another demonstrator friend called Leslie Lendon. Her card was beautiful, and so I thought I would give it a try, and I thought I would share it with you, lovely lot. So I hope you enjoy it, and let's give it a go. So the suite that I'm going to use to make this card. Hey Debbie, hey Marion, glad you could join me. I'm going to use the Frosted Gingerbread Suite to make this card because I just love its DSP. This was the suite that was my class by post last month in August, so I'm kind of sharing one of the cards that I've done for that class because I thought you ladies would like it. So I am going to start off. So this is a card that's going to have a hidden message, a kind of like a secret message inside. I think it's super cute. I hope you like it. So the colours for this particular suite are your early espresso, cinnamon cider, real red, old olive, and whisper white. And do you know what? I've forgotten how much I love real red and old olive as my Christmas red and green. They are just beautiful colours that go really well with each other. There's lots of different reds right now. Poppy Parade is a really popular one. I love my Cherry Cobbler. But Old Olive and Real Red, these are the classics. These are proper Christmas red and green. So yes, it still seems a bit strange to be doing Christmas cards quite this early out, but I think it works. So you'll forgive me, won't you? So what I'm doing to start off with is just taking half of A4. Hey, Linda. And walking the dog as well. Wow, that is multitasking. Rather you than me. So I'm starting off with your standard half of A4 folded over into a C6 card blank that opens that way. What I want next is I'm going to do a whisper white layer for inside. So I'm going to cut this one down to, so this is 14.35 by 10 centimeters, because that will just leave a really narrow border round the edge of my card. There you go. It's not going on the front, it's going to go on the inside, but for reasons which will become obvious, I'm not going to stick it down just now. I'm going to stick it down later. Hey, Ali, glad you could join me. So that's going to go in there like that. The next thing I want to do is do my DSP layer for the front. And there's so much to choose from in these gorgeous papers. So I don't want to use, I mean, these are brilliant, these shapes, and I am going to be cutting out some of these shapes later. But for just now, I want one that's more of a general pattern. Yeah, so it's probably this side that I'm looking at. And having a think which one I'm going to go for. I think I'm probably leaning towards the stripes. Let's go with the stripes for just now. I think they're going to be my best bet. I'm going to come back and cut out some of these later. But for just now, let's go with the stripes. And what I want to do is cut this down. So I'm basically cutting my DSP down to the same size as my inner layer there. So that is going to be 4.35. Just taking a little bit off there, by 10 centimeters. And that fits nicely on the front of my card like that. Again, I'm not sticking this down yet. It's very important. Don't stick them down just now. So what I want to do next is I'm going to do some die cutting. That's my inner layer. I'm going to pop that to one side. And I'm going to use, so these are the tailor-made tags dies. These are new in the autumn winter catalogue. And I am going to cut with this one. And I'm going to cut out the centre of my card there. I'm also, while I'm here, going to pull out the teeny tiniest one as well, for reasons which will become obvious in a minute. But for just now, let's get up my die cutting machine. And what I want to do is I'm going to open up my card blank. I'm going to be cutting the front of this card, and I want to cut through both the DSP and the card layer. The dies should do that. So I'm going to position this. I'm going to make sure that my layer is centered, because that's going to be important later. But I'm not sticking it down yet. And I'm cutting my die shape there. There we go. If you want to be really, really careful and precise, then you can stick things down with washi tape. But it's Wednesday. We're going to do Wing It Wednesday and just hope for the best. So, what could possibly go wrong? Not that anything ever goes wrong during live crafting, you know? Of course not. It always works perfectly as planned. First time round. I'm going to run it twice. I'm going to run it in one direction and then in the other, just because I want to make doubly sure that it's cut. And one top tip, if you want to make sure that something is cut properly, then before you take the whole thing apart, slide off your clear panels and turn it over. And if your clear panels aren't as scored as this, you should be able to see, yeah, if it's cut all the way through. If it hasn't cut all the way through, then you're putting it back on and keeping going again. Hey, Margaret. But on this one, it's fine. It has cut all the way through. So I have my two shapes here that are cut out. One in the DSP and one in the cardstock. Put them there. And I've got my cards blank and my DSP layer there as well. So I'm going to pop them up to one side. Before I put everything away though, I'm going to use this little tag here. I'm just going to get my scraps envelope. Does anybody else keep scraps of card because they think, I'll be able to cut something else out? There we go. There's a scrap piece that I can use to cut this tag. So let's bring back up my die cutting machine. I just want to cut one of these out. You know what? As I'm thinking about it, I'm not going to cut one. I'm going to cut two. So I have done one on there. I'm just going to do a second one. And again, should become obvious later on. So I'll put my die cutting machine, my cut and emboss down to one side. I will need it later on for my embellishments, but for now, I'm going to start to put things together. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to glue my DSP layer down onto the card blank. And you're maybe thinking, well, you told me not to glue it down first of all. Why are you gluing it down now? The reason that I didn't want to glue it down before is because I wanted two separate pieces. And if I had glued it all the way down, then I might have accidentally glued one piece of DSP to that tag. The other reason, I could have just done right round the edges, but I wanted to make sure that I got glue on both the outer edge and the inner edge, because I want to make sure it sticks down nicely. It's also one of the reasons why I'm using my favourite Tombow, because that really does work when it comes to positioning. It's very forgiving. I can move things around if I haven't got them perfectly right the first time. What do you mean, Emma, that you don't get everything perfectly right the first time? Oh dear. Far from getting things right. As many of you will know, I am the first one to admit I am not perfect. So, what we're going to do next is that our tag is going to fit in here. And this is going to be on the opposite side of it. And now we're going to have this stuck on like that. If it's not handmade if it's perfect. That's very true, Ali. Things that are perfect are so often machine made, aren't they? And this is not machine made, this is handcrafted. So before I glue any of this stuff down, I'm just wanting to position it to make sure it's right. That's going to go there. This tab is going to stick out the side here. And I want to make sure it doesn't stick out too far because it still needs to fit in the envelope. So I'm going to want it about there. Pull all these bits up. What I might do is just draw a tiny wee pencil mark so that I know that it needs to go that far in. So this is going to be stuck like that. But before I stick anything down, so I'm going to have that one that's going to stick there. But then on the other side, on the inside, little bits of paper everywhere. This one, and now this tag comes out the other side, and I want to fold it over here. So let's just judge this by eye. I can't possibly go. Okay, because this is going to stick down to here, and then this is going to stick over the top, and then these other pieces are going to go together. So I'm thinking about this. This is going to be the best order to do this in. This is the first piece to be stuck down. So let's just check and make sure that I've got it in the middle. Yep, it's about right. That's about where I want it to be. Let's just lift that off. Trusty Tombow. When you're sticking Tombow down, stick on the piece you're sticking rather than on the card itself, because then you're not going to end up with glue in places that you didn't want it. Put that middle, over like that, up. There we go. I'm going to use my grid paper here as well, just to make sure that that's nice and straight, that's nice and aligned. It's okay if it's not. Remember what we said, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's got to look pretty. Right. I've been using my seal more for the inserts of my cards recently, because I've noticed that sometimes the way I do my Tombow, occasionally it shines through, especially if it's white on a coloured card. So that's why I'm preferring to use the seal at the moment. If I'm careful, I can still position things nicely. There we go. So now I've got my insert that has trapped this little tag piece. Okay. Next up, we're going to the DSP piece that I took out. Now, at the moment, I'm doing it so that when you open it up, you see the same colour of DSP on the inside as the outside. But actually, I'm liking that piece of DSP, so I might flip it around. Make it different. Shall I do that? No, this one I'll do the same, but I might make another one where I use the reverse side. So let's just stick to the plan, Emma. Stick to the plan for just now. Okay, so I've positioned it so that it's perfectly in the hole. I'm going to lift up my flap here, and this is going to stick down onto there. So hold that in place, stick this down. Stick this down carefully so it doesn't move around all over. There we go. So now we have got this piece, which should go there like that. Okie dokie. So then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to fold that over. This bit still kind of pops up so it comes through this space, which is the way I want it. And now I'm going to put this second piece on. Down. If you were going to be really precise, you could draw pencil marks with a ruler so that it was perfectly straight. I am not that precise. So I'm going to stick that down. Make sure that there's no glue at the other side. Actually, I do want it to be slightly straighter than that, though. Oh. And then finally, my last piece that I cut out, so this was the bit that came out of this, that is going to go on front. So these pieces are just going to be sandwiched together. So my little tab in here, it's almost like a belt, is sandwiched in between the DSP and the cardstock. And then when you put it together, you have this bit that kind of pokes out here. So you've got this kind of card. So somebody can open up, opens up this way. Oh. That was actually a lot easier than I thought it was going to be. But it's quite cute. And so now all we need to do is decorate it. So what I'm wanting to use is some of these shapes from the DSP. And I'm thinking the star, although I want to make sure that whatever I use fits on. Because at first I was thinking the tree would look super cute, but I think it's too big for these tags. Actually, here's the way to tell. Will it fit on the tag? No. So the bell will fit, won't it? None of these are going to fit in the tag. The bauble. The bauble will fit. Right, let's pick a bauble. And I think I'm going to use, which one? The green, the red, or the multicoloured? Or one of each? I'll cut out a few of them, but while I cut them out, in the comments, let me know which bauble you think I should use. The old olive, the real red, or the white one with all of the colours. So that's one of the other things that I love about this DSP, because it is so easy to make really cute, really gorgeous cards using these elements. And then the dies cut out the DSP. It all coordinates. Love it. I love a bit of coordination. So it's out. Do the green one first. Old olive, if we're being precise. What are your go-to Christmas colours? Who here is team red and green, and who is team blue and purple? I kind of go both ways. There's no colour that can't be used as a Christmas colour. I think any shade can be Christmassy if it's paired with the right sentiments, or the right shape, the right dyes. I did some lovely cards last year that were all blues and purples. The Whimsy set. To be fair, I've never really thought of pink as a Christmas colour, but the Whimsy suite, which is all pinks and turquoises, it's actually gorgeous. It wasn't my style when I saw it in the catalogue, but then we did a share and I got to see some from other people, and oh, I'm sold on it. Totally sold. So red and green I think is very traditional. Blue and silver. You're not wrong, Linda. You can't go wrong with some blue and silver. I know Tom loves blue and silver on Christmas cards. Although black and gold or black and bronze, those make really stylish cards as well. I think I'll be doing some more metallic-y Christmas cards this year, especially now that we've got that absolutely stunning bedazzling designer series paper that is free at the moment with Celebration. You can get that one for free, so if you like a bargain, and who doesn't, then that's a good one to check out. Right. What have we got, ladies? What are we thinking for our baubles? I think I could get more than one on here. I probably could. To get the green and the white, or I could do a green one and a red one, white and the red. What do people think? At the moment I'm leaning towards green and white. While you still give me your opinions, I'd love to know what you think. I'm going to stamp on the inside of my card. Now, let's tidy up these little bits of glue that have gone astray. And I think for my sentiment on the insides, I'm going to use Old Olive because it's one of my classic greens. And I think the Old Olive sentiment in the centre here will just really work really well. So, oh, look. I swear, I think I spend half of my time tidying up for Facebook Lives and then the rest of the time pulling things out for Facebook Lives. Not the red unless it's on top. You make a good point, Ali. Right. What I'm doing here is I'm having my sentiment kind of covered by this. So let's kind of guess where it's going to go. Here. So now this tag goes over to cover it up. It's on there. Out the way. Just going to clean my stamp as I go. You know what I'm like with dropping things. I'm very bad at accidentally dropping stuff. And the last thing I want to do is drop a fully inked up stamp on top of a completely finished card. That would not lead to a happy end. So, right. Yeah, I'm thinking the green and the white, ladies. You with me on that one? I think the red on red is going to be too much. Let's just go with this. And am I going to stick them straight down or am I going to put them on dimensionals? I think I'm going to do the bottom one straight down and the top one dimensionals. And then there is one last thing that I'm going to do with this card, which I'll show you in just a second. So one flat, one dimensionals. Yeah, you see, I love having my creative consultants here to help me with my decisions. It's so much easier because I know I can trust you. I have the people who watch have got such good taste in cards. Very creative. There we go. So the one at the top is flat, the one at the bottom is on dimensionals. And then the final thing that this needs, so this is my real red ribbon. So it's the ribbon that comes with the suite. And I'm just going to put a tiny little bit of ribbon through my little tag here. So let's just up. I'm going to tie it in a knot rather than a bow because it's a lot easier. Nobody said things had to be hard all the time. We're allowed to have easy cards. Plus, this is the sort of card that I can see myself making at Christmas time. And if I'm going to make a few of these, then I don't want it to be something that's going to drive me nuts. I want it to be something that once I've made 10 of them, I'm ready to make another 10. Rather than wanting to rip my hair out. We've all been there, ladies, haven't we? You know? Made a really, really gorgeous card and then thought, goodness, I've got to make 50 of these. There we go. So what do you think of that as a fancy fold? As I say, it was inspired by another demonstrator called Leslie Lendon, fabulously talented demo. And this is my version of it. So I have done a Christmas version. It opens up, got this little secret message that's inside that's kind of hidden. So, and that's been our card tonight. That's been really, really quick. That did not take nearly as long as I thought it was going to. So let's keep going. Let's make something else. I know what I can show you. I got some new kits. Shall I show you one of the kits? Not a Christmas kit because they haven't come out yet, but it is a new to me kit. So fish that out. Here we go. Brand new out the box. This kit is called A Little Smile. So I have a few friends that I think it would be nice to send just a little cheer them up card. Do you ever like to do that? You know, just make something nice and send it to somebody to make them smile. Let's have a look and see what's in the box here. So, right. So we've got a Coastal Cabana spot. We've got, this is like a seaside themed stamp set. We've got one of these sand dollars. We've got some seaweed. There's a starfish. And what we've got here, you're amazing. You made my day special. Thank you. It means so much. Just a little smile. And my day is better because of you. I think that's a lovely stamp set. Let's have a look at what else we've got in this box. So these are, so you get this little pouch and you get 4 different card designs and you've got the envelopes there as well. This is really sweet. Let's open this up and have a look at it. Oh, that is super cute. So you've got this little pouch that has got a wee thread that goes round. Do you know what? I can see me making up all of these cards and just putting them in the pouch and keeping them in my handbag. And then, have you ever had a, you know, maybe you've had a meal at a restaurant where the waitress has been really lovely, or you've had somebody who stopped and helped you? Wouldn't it be really nice just to give them a little card as a little thank you, just to say that was really kind? Right, let's. I'm excited about this. In fact, depending on how complicated these are, I might just make one of each of them. What time are we at? We're at 8 o'clock. You guys got time to hang around if I make a few of these? I think they look really sweet. So let's look at the instructions. So remember, in the kits, everything you need is there. So I've got my little glue dots. I've got these beautiful, these are beautiful, these vellum pieces. I've got some cut out palm trees and leaves. I've got my clear block. To be honest, I'm not going to use the clear block and the ink pad. I'm going to use my own ink pad and clear block because then I can give them away. And then I've got, oh, they're just adorable. Do you know, I remember when I was young, I used to love tiny little cards and envelopes that I used to like. I should have given more of them away, but I just felt they were really cute and I wanted to keep them for myself. Did anybody else have them when they were young? These are super cute. Right, so I think you can make, yeah, 8 envelopes, 8 cards. They're lovely as well. Do you see the shimmer on that? That's gorgeous. And then you've got these little tag pieces as well. So, right, let me grab my Coastal Cabana and let's just do this. Let's do this. Okay, so the first one is this one here. And because I'm feeling wild, I'm just going to make up both of them at the same time. Although, having said that, I might make up one of them following the instructions and the other one, I might change it around and make it slightly different. Because there's no point in always following the instructions, is there? You know, sometimes you want to put your own spin on things, your own twist, make it your own. The little post office set, exactly. I used to have that with a wee pretend stamp and you would have it in a little post box and yeah, they were really cute. Okay, so the little vellum circle sticks down with some of these glue dots. So let's put 3 of these on. Yeah, you can actually see, I don't know if you can see, but there are, let me put it on my hand. There are some of these bits that are slightly larger than others. So some of them are quite thin, but others are quite thick. So I think there's places where the glue dots quite naturally go so that they don't shine through and look really obvious. So yeah, you don't need many. The instructions say 3. You could put more on if you wanted to. I'm just gonna, this first one at least, follow the instructions. And then that sticks down in the centre. Almost looks like a planet Earth, I think. Oh, it's pretty. So the next thing it wants me to do is to get one of these. These are so gorgeous. These shimmery starfish, and one of the, what's it? These pieces. You know, that I'm just going to poke out because it's going to fall out anyway. Right. Let's take this out as well. And again with the glue dots to couple here. Just one, the center here. Backings. I'm going on holiday for a long weekend, and I'm already thinking I'm just going to take some of these kits with me because it means that I can do some crafting, but I don't have to worry about packing up loads and loads of stuff because everything I need will be in the box. This makes life easier, like an easy life. Oh, so cool. And then what have we got next? So one of the bags, use bottle. Just a little smile. The one to use for here. Oh. And I'm just going to stamp 2 of these. Just going to make sure that that's stamped nicely. Let's do one here. Oh. Yeah. You see, this is what I said. I have a bad habit of dropping stuff. You think that's going to be obvious? I think I might stick something over the top. Be Diamante or something. Yeah, do you know what? That's not obvious. It's going to be fine. I'm going to close my ink pad. Not because I'm not going to use it again, but because it reduces the chance of me putting my elbow down into it. Right, so I've done both of those. I'm actually just going to do the second one of these. But instead of doing it this way, I'm just thinking I could do one of them landscape and one of them portrait. I think that would look really cute. So let's just do the second one. So these vellum die cut shapes are really cute. Laser cut, die cut, you know what I mean. So while I'm pulling this together, chat to me, ladies. How are you getting on with your Christmas cards? Who's got started already? I can promise you, you're all much further ahead than I am. I've done a few, but nowhere near as many as I need. Because I am very fortunate to have lots of lovely, lovely friends. Especially lovely friends who send me lovely cards. So I need to make sure I take the time and make some lovely cards to send out. This is just so easy. Honestly, having all the pieces pre-cut, the designs that you can just put together. Who said crafting had to be stressful? We're allowed to have a fun time, have an easy time. So if there's one like that and one like that, I think this is going to work. I hope it's going to work. Oh, you've had to do the lateral flows. Yeah. Back to school again, isn't it? I don't envy you, Ali. I'm sure it must be quite a difficult time right now. Of course, a lot of our kids have gone back to school already. Um, but okay, I am going to alter this slightly, and instead of putting it flat down, I'm going to put them on dimensionals. So the kit just comes with the spots, but I like poking things up a wee bit. I hope they still fit in the envelopes. If the envelopes are very snug, then this might have been a mistake. I hope. Right now. Oh. And then there's some of this linen twine. You've made a few, Linda. You are always so organised. I'm very, very, very envious of how organised Linda is. Goes with my bunny ears. Oh, Marion, I don't know if Donna's done any more of her cards and is still enjoying doing her little bunny ears. We had great fun at that class. For those of you who have got no idea what I'm talking about, I'm going to do another one again just in a second, and I'll try and do it a little bit slower. When I do bows, rather than do your traditional way that you tie your shoelaces, although you can tie your shoelaces this way, I'm just doing 2 bunny ears, so 2 loops, and then you tie them in a knot, and then you can adjust and pull the tails and adjust the loops till you've got them both the size that you want. Then once you've done that, chop off your ends. And if you do it while it's still on the reel, you don't have so much wastage. So, little bunny ears. That's my favourite way for doing bows. Right. This just kind of sits on there. Now, what it says to do is stick the knot to the glue and then put the whole thing onto the card. But I've done it the other way around. I've stuck the glue down first, and then I'm going to stick the bow in place just because I think it's easier. But you know what? You do whatever works best for you. But yeah, those are our first 2 cards. Just a little smile. She's been too busy. I don't blame her. It has been a very busy time. So, right. Let's see. So the envelopes with these ones are here. Together. These are just so super cute. I love these. Right. I'm going to put that in my little pouch. There we go. That's the first one done. Let's have a look at the next one. So, using these ones. Oops. Now, I suspect that these ones will not be so tricky, will not be so easy to do one landscape and one portrait. So let's have a look at the instructions. They're both delightful. I'm glad you like them, Ali. Right. So these ones use these palm trees here. Both of them out. And we need a little vellum bit of seaweed. For each. And these little silver sand dollars. Are sand dollars an American thing, or have people ever seen them in the UK? I can't remember ever having seen a sand dollar on the beach. I see a lot of jellyfish things on the beaches, but I've never seen these. So, but then maybe I'm just not paying attention enough. When I'm going to the beach, my attention is mostly on my ice cream. One thing I am excited about. So, oh, you know how I said I was at the Stampin' Up Leadership Conference last weekend? Really, really exciting. It was meant to be in Las Vegas, at this amazing spa hotel, which we would all have loved to go to, but obviously travel restrictions and everything being what it wasn't quite the same. So we ended up having it virtually. But next year's conference is going to be in New Orleans, which is where it should have been last year. And I had my flights and hotel and everything booked. And then in the end, obviously, with the world being the way it was, we didn't get to go. So now we're all looking forward to being in New Orleans next year. I have never been to New Orleans, but I think it looks fabulous. Although there is the slight issue right now of all the hurricanes and everything that's going on. Anybody here ever been to New Orleans? Would you recommend it? Are there things that I should see? Things that I should make sure I don't miss out on? We're not going at the same time as Mardi Gras, although we are getting to do, or if it's the same as last time, various Mardi Gras themed events and stuff like that. So I think it could be quite exciting. I think it would be a cool place to go. Right. So it would appear that what we do here, so I've put a glue dot at the bottom of my little vellum seaweed pieces. Actually, I wonder what these would look like sponged. I could sponge some of them with ink. A bit late this time. Do it for one of the other ones. Yeah, these cards aren't going to work landscape. They both need to be portrait, but that's okay. Let's do these ones up as well. There's a festival almost every day. That sounds like my kind of place. I do like a good festival. You get all the atmosphere, you get all the costumes, the music is just fabulous. Just love a bit of a arty place. Arty atmosphere. Let's see. That. And now we're back to our tags. Again, it's these ones. I'm just looking because there's two different kinds of tags. There's the ones that look like wood, and then there's the plain ones. I think we're still on plain ones at this point. And the die, the one we're going to use is You Are Amazing. So pull that one off. Obviously the music. I do love the music. I think it's more your kind of reggae, dance music type stuff that you get. I'm guessing. I'm guessing. Let's see. And lots of brightly coloured beads and feathers, and yeah, I'm going to need a really big suitcase, I think, to have a fabulous outfit. And then you never know, there might be a few bits and pieces that I'll pick up when I'm there that I want to bring back. Plus, at these events, you always get really, really good swag from Stampin' Up. So I'll leave room in the suitcase for that. The swag box that we got for the leadership conference for backstage was really quite cool. Oh, my water bottle. This is the water bottle that I got. And we got these stickers to put on it. Be strong, be happy, be you, in Stampin' Up backstage. It's a hydro flask. I was having a look at these online. It's a really, really good brand. So I'm really, really pleased with my new flask. Okay, let's go back to sticking these. I'm going to stick these ones down with dimensionals as well. I'm kind of in that dimensional space. Jazz music, is that the big thing in New Orleans? Yeah, I suppose it would be, wouldn't it? I'm thinking back, Tom and I were watching a lot of the James Bond films last year during lockdown. We watched all of them from start to finish. And I'm sure there's one where they're in New Orleans. Let's see. There. There. And again, we need our little bows. I should maybe just do a few of these bows because they seem to be on every card. Although, you know, if I do make lots of bows, then I'm going to drop and lose lots of bows and not be able to find them. So maybe just doing the ones that I need and using them straight away is the way forward. NCIS New Orleans. I've never seen that. We don't watch a lot of live TV, although I suppose it's not live anymore. It's all box sets, isn't it? You know what they say, people who watch a lot of NCSI, they could commit murder and get away with it. That's okay, Marion. I am taking longer tonight than usual. Have a lovely evening, and I'll see you next week. Is that your favourite one, Linda? The New Orleans one? I'm sure there just must be really cool characters and really good storyline. Certainly a beautiful setting. Sure. Leo. One of the things, it's a shame Marion's left, but I'm going to talk about this anyway, and I'm going to mention it next week as well. Not next week, but the week after, I am proposing that on the Wednesday night we do some mystery stamping together. So I'll do a post about it to explain how it works. Box TV is no longer available in the UK. Yeah, I'm pretty much just your Netflix and All 4 girl, so unless it's on one of those, then I'm not really up to date with it. But yeah, mystery stamping. So one of the things I was thinking about doing, not next week, but the week after, on the Wednesday night, let's do some mystery stamping together. So how this works is in advance, I will post measurements of things like card and ESP and things like that to gather. So it's just to do one card together. And the whole idea is that you get instructions at each stage to kind of put stuff together. And then everybody holds up their cards and we've all made something different with the same dimensions. But you can choose your own colours and your own paper and stuff. So right, that's these cards finished. Gonna pair them up with their envelopes and put them in this little pouch. There we go. But yeah, mystery stamping. Do you think any of you would be up for joining in with some mystery stamping? We'll do it live. We'll share the dimensions. People can join in if they want. They can watch if they want. And just have a bit of fun together. And that way, instead of just watching me craft, you can all join in. You can all do some crafting. And I'd love to see your creations. Love to see what you make. Right, third card. More of the sand dollars. Happy to give it a go, Ali? Glad to hear it. Vellum people. Now, just having a wee look at the instructions for this card, I think I could do this one vertical and horizontal, although that seems more like sea and sand, so I think I probably will still stick with it horizontal. You love the idea of mystery stamping, Linda? Yeah, let's give it a try. Let's join in. I think it'll be fun. See if we can round up some more people and really have a nice fun session of it. So, okay. Let's use these glue dots again. These glue dots are getting a really good workout tonight. So if we did mystery stamping, so if we do one not next week but the week after, so that's going to be the 15th of September. I think it's probably still too soon at this point for a Christmas one, although to be honest, use whichever papers, use whichever colours you want. So some of you might do Christmas, some of you might do Halloween, some of you might do like pale pinks or pale blues, or you can do any different variety you want. That's one of the joys of doing mystery stamping, where you all use different colours and different designs, and everybody ends up making the same design but slightly different because you've all done variations on a theme. So, and that way nobody has to go, oh well, it's pastels, I don't like pastels, or people say, well, you know, I don't like green, I don't like purple, I don't like that colour. You can do it in whatever colours you desire. Or somebody says, oh, I don't have that DSP, or I don't have that ribbon. Use your own. Use what you've got. Oh, see you later, Debbie. Have a nice evening. I am going too late with this, aren't I? I'm dragging on. Okay, I'll speed this up and try not to be too slow. Let me just finish one of each of this one. So there's only this one and then one more to go. Then I'll finish. I don't want to bore you. Although I've pulled the glue dots off. So I'm just going to stick this down very quickly. Cool. Right. They're quite cute. They'll get sentiments in a minute. I'll do all the sentiments in a minute. Let's speed it up for the finish. Yeah, this is another card that's going to have to be portrait rather than landscape just because of the way these cards are printed. Okay, okay. So these, oh, that's how it fits on. I like it. Again, for speed's sake, I don't want to bore you and take up all your evening. Let's just use my trusty Tom, which is going to clog up because I right. Obviously, you've got the glue dots in the kit, and that's what it recommends you use. But for speed's sake, I'm just going to use Tombow. Stick it down that way. Save my glues. Something. Not so trusty Tombow. Yes. These are cute, though. I can see me taking this away. You know, say if you're on holiday somewhere and you wanted to like leave little thank you cards for hotels or restaurants or places that you'd been, these would just be fabulous. They really, really would. So the last two of my starfish, the last two vellum. This kit has used up all of the pieces. Sometimes you have pieces left over, but for this one you can see it's used up everything. Although you could cut some of these strips off, you could cut some of the vellum off and do other bits with it. So let's see. There's going to have to be glue dots for these because it's just the easiest way. Vellum, you've got to be careful with your Tombow glue because sometimes it can shine through, whereas with a glue dot, you know where you're at. There. Off. Makes you want to be on a beach holiday, doesn't it? Looking at palm trees and having people bring you frozen cocktails and just sitting in the sun, enjoying the sea. It's not been particularly sunny here this week, but you never know. Sometimes we get a really hot September in Scotland. Or the UK. Ali, sometimes it can be really nice and hot and sunny towards the end of the year before we really start to get into autumn and all of the definite winter autumnal weather. Right. That. Now let's just finish off the stamping. My day is better because of you, and thank you, it means so much. These are really sweet. Let's do the thank you, it means so much first. Yeah, as soon as the kids go back to school, that's when the weather perks up. Shame for all the kids. Not a shame for us. Oh, I'm just going to cheat. I'll clean these off afterwards. Oh, do you know what? I actually told the porcupine. I said that you got no bits left over from this kit, but that's not true. You get 4 of these tags and 4 of those tags left over. So you do get some extras. It's quite nice. My day is better because of you. Can you imagine if you were working somewhere and a customer gave you a little card which said that? You'd be really happy, wouldn't you? Nice to make other people happy if we can. Right. Put the ink pad away, Emma. Honestly, the number of times I've ended up with ink all down my arm. It is better. You, thank you. It means so much. And let's just use our dimensionals, because I do think just popping the sentiments up just gives it an extra something. What does it give? It gives extra dimension. That's what they call them, dimensionals. No, August hasn't been particularly great. He kept talking about the African plume, that we were going to get this gust of hot air coming in from the African coast, but it didn't materialise. But hey-ho, it hasn't been as wild and rainy as it could have been. That's got to be something to be pleased about. So there we go. Thank you, it means so much. Which, as it turns out, is the one that should have been on this card. But you know what? I can do it whichever way I want. So there we go. We're going to have one of these each as a thank you, and then the other one, my day is better because of you. Yeah, that's so cute. Super cute. Day is better because of you. And now we're back to our little bows and our bunny ears just to finish these off. And actually, talking about having leftovers, I'm pretty sure I'm going to have lots of linen thread left over as well. So that's always something very handy to have on hand as spares. In fact, if I was in the mood, I could just make a whole more load of these bows and then they would be there on hand to stick on my cards. So, as I said at the start, this is a kit that you can get. It's called A Little Smile Card Kit. It comes with the stamps, a clear block, a Coastal Cabana ink spot, and all of the supplies, the card bases, the envelopes, the embellishments, the twine, the glue dots. All you would really need is scissors, and you can make 8 gorgeous little cards and the little pouch to put them in. And I tell you, when I've done this, that little pouch is going into my handbag, and I'm going to take them and I'm going to give them away to people. In fact, I might just write in them before I start, thank you so much, and just sign them and put a wee smiley face so that they're ready. And then anybody who I come in contact with, I heard about somebody else who had done this. They gave a little card to somebody on a flight. Have you ever had a really, really nice air stewardess or air steward and wanted just to give them a little card or something to say thank you? If I had these to hand, I could do that. So this is what's going in my handbag, and I'm going to hand them out to people. Let's put, we can see where they've put their glue dots. Yeah. Oh, actually, I might just put on the sign. That's the thing. You don't have to follow the instructions. You can put these around where you want. So if you can see on this one, I've stuck it over there because that's what the instructions said. But on this one, I've put it down on the tag. Not wildly different, just slightly. Just to give a little variation. And then on these ones, it says to put them, yeah, again. Pro tip, peel the backings off before you try and stick your bows down. They don't stick nearly so well if you leave the backings. Tom is not starving to death. No, he. We actually ate beforehand, so maybe that's one of the reasons why I don't mind that we're running on late tonight. We had friends to stay, and so I had taken a day off work. Although, as it turns out, I then ended up having to do some work this afternoon anyway. But that's just the way it is. But it did mean that we were more organised and we had leftovers earlier on. Okay, so those are all my cards. Let's pull them all out and show them. Smile, you're amazing. So it turns out the first one was the only one that I did a landscape and a portrait version, but those are the cards made with this kit. So that's A Little Smile card kit. That's the little pouch that they all fit into. So I am just going to write these and hand them out to people over the next couple of weeks, just to hopefully make people smile. And then there was the card that we did at the start, this fancy fold with the hidden message, which opens up like that, wishing you a Merry Christmas. And that was done using the Gingerbread and Spice Suite. There we go. Okay, for those of you who made it all the way to the end, well done. Thanks for sticking with me. Next time, I promise I won't be quite so long. But I look forward to seeing you. Join me next Wednesday for more live crafting. And then the following Wednesday, so Wednesday the 15th, we're going to do some mystery stamping. I will put a post on the page about it so that you've got time to gather some bits and pieces and read to find out what it's all about. So I hope you have a lovely evening. Enjoy the rest of your week, and I will see you again soon. Take care.